In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer. Yada yada yada. But what if behind all the power, love, and friendship in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, something far darker was lurking? No, not vampires or demons, something much darker. Beneath the witty one-liners, the musical, and the power of friendship lies trauma, SA, secret druggings, real-world grief, and devastating mental health struggles. Stick around to the end because number one's not just a dark Buffy episode, it's a tragic reality for millions.
Well, this is not some fantasy. It's not a game, you freaks. It's
What?
And they live in the darkest corners of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, most notably in Season 6. It's about the monsters we face within ourselves and in each other. Here are the top 5 darkest Buffy episodes that will expose those painful truths. Brace yourself. Coming in at number 5, Season 3, Episode 12, Helpless, Secret Drugging. Imagine waking up one day to find that your strength and your power has been taken from you without your knowledge. How would that feel? What happens when someone you trust uses drugs to control and weaken you? In Helpless, Buffy is subjected to a cruel trial by the Watchers Council and Giles. At a critical moment, they secretly drug her to strip away her Slayer powers, leaving her vulnerable and disoriented. While drugged and without her powers, Buffy faces a vampire named Zachary who nearly kills her. Buffy is very hurt, not only because Giles was drugging her, but also because he didn't say anything despite watching her struggle and suffer without her powers.
All this time you saw what it was doing to me. All this time and you didn't say a word.
I wanted to.
Liar.
Buffy tells him that he poisoned her and asks him to leave her alone, even stating, "I don't know you."
I don't know you.
What makes it worse is that she trusts Giles and looks up to him as a father figure. The betrayal is deep. The people sworn to protect Buffy instead expose her to a deadly danger without her consent. This episode becomes a painful metaphor for drugging someone without their consent, where victims are left powerless and confused. Buffy's helplessness highlights how betrayal by trusted figures compounds trauma. It forces viewers to confront the frightening reality of losing control over your own body and the deep emotional scars that follow.
Who are you? How could you do this to me?
Up next at number 4, we have Season 6, Episode 13, Dead Things. Themes of SA and murder. SA is a painful trauma often silenced in stories, but what happens when it happens within your own circle? How do you face the betrayal and horror when the abusers are people you know? In Dead Things, the trio, Warren, Jonathan, and Andrew, are wreaking havoc on Sunnydale. Warren's ex-girlfriend Katrina becomes the victim of their cruel intentions. The trio attempts to SA her using the cerebral dampener. When it fails and she realizes what's happening, she tells the trio that what they're planning to do to her was
freaks. It's
What?
and that she's going to the police. In a panic to stop her, Warren hits her in the back of the head and kills her. The trio have gone from cartoonish villains to serious real-world criminals. This episode strips away any romanticism around these villains and shows the brutal reality of abuse and violence. The calculated cruelty and callousness of the trio reveals how people can hide monstrous behavior behind normalcy. This storyline highlights the real-world issue of SA, toxic masculinity, and the silence that enables abuse to continue. Number 3, Season 6, Episode 17, Normal Again. Themes of mental health. Mental illness is still heavily stigmatized today. What if the world you've been fighting for is just a hallucination? How terrifying would it be to question your own reality? In Normal Again, Buffy is poisoned by a demon's venom, causing her to experience vivid hallucinations where she finds herself in a psychiatric hospital. Doctors tell her that her life as a Slayer could be a delusion caused by a serious mental disorder.
She believes she's some type of hero in a fantastic world beyond imagination. Do you know where you are, Buffy?
Sunnydale.
No, none of that's real. You're in a mental institution. You've been with us now for 6 years.
Throughout the episode, Buffy jumps between the two realities, struggling to hold on to her identity. While in the mental hospital, a doctor informs Buffy she's been hallucinating in the hospital for the past 6 years, and everything she knows about Sunnydale is a delusion. Buffy realizes that her life in Sunnydale is much more illogical compared to being a mental patient. Luckily for us, Buffy takes the antidote and continues her life in Sunnydale. This unsettling story acts as a powerful metaphor for the disorientation and fear that mental illness can cause. Buffy's confusion reflects the painful reality many face when their minds betray them, and the isolation that comes with feeling crazy or misunderstood. It's a raw look at trauma, identity, and the fight to stay sane in the world that feels upside down. So far, the episodes have been pretty dark, but these last two are generally what people accept as two of the darkest episodes in all of Buffy history. Up at number 2 on our list, we have Season 5, Episode 16, The Body, Themes of Grief and Loss. Everyone experiences loss, but some loss shatter your world completely. How do you process the death of someone you love when there's no magic to fix it? How do you survive when everything feels empty? The Body abandons the supernatural entirely to focus on the sudden death of Buffy's mother, Joyce Summers. The episode captures every moment of shock, disbelief, and overwhelming grief with a stark, unfiltered realism rarely seen on television. Buffy's numbness and her friends' varying reactions depict the chaos and silence of mourning.
Damn, why she just can't get back in it and not be dead anymore. It's stupid. It's mortal. And
after battling a brain tumor, Joyce Summers seems to have recovered well. Then one day, Buffy walked into their home to find her dead on the couch. Buffy does her best to revive her, but she's unable to.
Mom.
There are no background scores or fancy effects, just raw emotion and uncomfortable silences that reflect the real process of grief.
We're not supposed to move the body!
This episode powerfully connects with anyone who's lost someone close, reminding us that death is the most terrifying monster and that grief is personal and unpredictable, and it's a horrible battle. It's always sudden, no matter how prepared you are for it.
It's always sudden.
This last one is not just a dark episode of Buffy, it's a tragic reality for millions. This episode flips the entire Buffyverse on its head and should probably be a video all on its own. Coming in at number 1, we have Season 6, Episode 19, Seeing Red with Themes of SA. SA isn't a trope, it's a brutal reality for millions. What happens when the violence comes from someone you trusted? How do you move forward after such a betrayal? Seeing Red shocks viewers with one of the darkest scenes in the entire series. Buffy is violently SA'd by Spike, a vampire she once trusted. Kind of.
Oh! Stop it!
I know you felt it when I was inside you.
The scene is raw and harrowing, shown with unflinching honesty to convey the shock and trauma of such violence. That violence is made worse to the fact that it's with someone she had been intimate with and should be a reminder that consent is necessary every single time. The assault marks a turning point in Buffy's life, shattering her trust and forcing her into a long, painful journey of trauma and healing. The episode delves into the complicated emotions of abusive relationships, showing the long-term scars that SA leaves behind. This moment helped push the conversation about consent, trauma, and abuse into the spotlight, showing the real damage such acts inflict on survivors. Spike's actor, James Marsters, has even gone on the record to state that he hated doing the scene and that it was very difficult for him. Buffy was made to be an escape, a safe haven from the real world, with magical and mystical creatures. Behind the darker episodes lies an important lesson in real-world trauma. Okay, so it's your turn. Which of these dark episodes affected you? Let me know in the comments, or tell me about another episode you consider dark. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.
I'm Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, and you are?
Dead.
I may be dead, but I'm still pretty. Hi, I'm an enormous slut. Talking about 2 very powerful witches and a 1,000-year-old ex-demon.
Willow's a demon?
It is a sham, but it's a sham with yams. It's a yam sham.
Need a hand?
No thanks. I'm good. Slayer's a robot.
Did everybody else know the Slayer was a robot?